Right, so listen. It's utterly crucial, don't you think, that when one embarks on a so-called vacation, a concept itself predicated on a rather optimistic view of leisure, frankly that the fundamentals are, well, fundamental. Like water should be wet, the sky should be blue, and a Hilton should not degrade into something resembling a particularly dismal boarding house from a Dickens novel. Honestly, the audacity. I mean, I've read Dostoevsky, okay? I understand suffering. I appreciate a well-articulated existential dread, but this wasn't profound, this wasn't soulful, this was incompetence. A masterclass in the art of extracting exorbitant sums of money for absolutely nothing. It just felt wrong, like a chipped teacup at a royal banquet, disrespectful to everyone involved. You know, back home in, well, it doesn't matter where home is, does it? Let us just say a place where expectations are often subverted. One learns to anticipate disappointment. But to arrive at the Hilton Clearwater Beach Resort Spa, a place adorned with a name that promises a certain standard, a certain level of polish, and to be immediately assaulted by a miasma of stale carpeting and regret. It was jarring. It began, as these things often do, with the olfactory offence. A pervasive, clinging odour. It wasn't merely dusty, darling. It was a damp, musty scent, overlaid with something floral, attempting to mask the underlying decay, but only succeeding in creating a particularly nauseating hybrid. My grandmother, bless her soul, used to say that a clean house smells of nothing at all. This house smelled of lies. And in marijuana, heavens to Betsy, I swear it. The hallways, a Hilton, marijuana, do you agree with me? Is it just me? And then the elevators. Oh, the elevators. These weren't merely vehicles for vertical transportation, they were instruments of mild torture. A disconcerting wobble, a slight lurch each ascent felt like a descent into a forgotten dimension. It wasn't the fear of falling, you understand. It was the insidious suggestion that reality itself was slightly off-kilter. I remember, as a child, my aunt having motion sickness on a boat, and this was the same feeling. The arrival. The check-in. Already my aura was starting to darken. The clerk, a woman whose expression suggested she'd personally endured several lifetimes of quiet desperation, practically bristled when I inquired about a discrepancy in the quoted price. Rude and combative, that's putting it mildly. She refused to provide a detailed receipt. Refused, as if transparency were some sort of radical concept. It was a power play, pure and simple. A statement of dominance. They knew they had me, that I was a captive audience, and they revelled in it. And then came the parking. $30 a day. 30. For the privilege of leaving my vehicle, a perfectly respectable vehicle, I might add, in their designated concrete rectangle. It's highway robbery, absolutely highway robbery. What is the logic? What are we even doing here? Are we paying for the space the car occupies, or the potential that someone might want to park there? It's a fundamental violation of basic hospitality. My mother always said to never accept something for free because it's always a trick. The room itself. Oh, the room. They call it a room, but it was barely bigger than a well-appointed closet. And the decor, a symphony of beige and faded floral patterns, as if someone had raided the clearance section of a 1980s furniture store. The carpet, my dears, was not merely old. It was a tapestry of stains, harbouring untold stories of spilled beverages and forgotten sins. A biohazard, frankly. I've seen cleaner floors in train stations. My great-grandmother, who always had impeccable taste, would have fainted. And the view, they advertised a Gulf view. A Gulf view. What I received was a panoramic vista of the parking garage. A grey expanse of metal and asphalt, punctuated by the occasional forlorn vehicle. 1.
Had to crane 1's neck, contort 1's body at an unnatural angle, just to glimpse a sliver of turquoise in the distance. A cruel joke, a blatant misrepresentation. Is it just me, or is that an actual crime? The balcony equally distressed. Chipped paint, rusted railings, a sense of imminent structural failure. It wasn't. 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 It wasn't.
Oh my goodness, like I'm looking into all these terrible crimes near Hilton Clearwater Beach Resort Spa, and it's just so sad, you know. Businesses near Hilton Clearwater Beach Resort Spa are super vulnerable to scams, and it's really scary for tourists like you who are just trying to have a good time. Like, for example, there was this serial barcode swapping scam at Lowe's stores, and it's just wow. This guy, Mark Brents, he swapped barcodes on expensive stuff with cheaper ones, and then he would pay less at self-checkout and sell the stolen goods online. Can you believe it? He did it like 10 times before he got caught. I mean, what is wrong with people? I guess he thought he was so smart, but really, he's just a bad person who doesn't care about hurting others. I predict that after he got caught, he probably cried and said sorry, but it's too late, you know. He's already hurt so many people. And those people, they probably felt so stupid for falling for it, but it's not their fault. It's his fault for being a bad person. And then there was this ATM Good Samaritan card swapping scam at Wells Fargo. These two guys, Brandon Castillo and Andrew Jimenez, they would jam coins into the ATM's card slot, and then when people had trouble, they would help them and swap their card with a stolen one. Like, who does that? It's just so mean. I think the people who got scammed probably felt so relieved when the guys helped them, but then they realized what happened, and it was just They must have felt so angry and disappointed in themselves. And those guys, they got caught, but I bet they're still out there trying to scam people. It's just so sad, you know.
The truth about businesses near Hilton Clearwater Beach Resort Spa. The businesses near Hilton Clearwater Beach Resort Spa, they're like a magic trick, except instead of pulling a rabbit out of a hat, they pull disappointment out of thin air. Take the shopping scene, for example. Malls here operate on their own mysterious schedules where stores close before the sun even thinks about setting. Countryside Mall, a tragic comedy of errors, escalators, broken, security nowhere to be found, teenagers running wild like it's Lord of the Flies. And the worst part, the toy store selling counterfeit collectibles, tricking parents into spending $70 on fake figurines because apparently authenticity is optional. Then there's the missing train, a beloved kiddie ride that vanished overnight, leaving autistic children and families heartbroken. Management's response? Silence. Now let's talk spas. You'd think a place called Sandava Spa would melt your stress away. Instead, it's more like being gently patted with oil by someone who's mentally already on their lunch break. No sauna, no steam. Just a sad, lukewarm puddle of regret where relaxation should be. Guests describe it as oily petting zoo therapy. For the price of a week's groceries, you get the privilege of lying on a table while your muscles beg for mercy. Hungry. Good luck. Restaurants here specialize in two things: overpriced seafood and emotional damage. Salty's Island Bar Grille is a masterclass in financial ambush. That 175 crab dish. Market price means we won't tell you until you're trapped. And if you dare question it, prepare for shame, served colder than the clam chowder that tastes like it came from a can. Oh, and forget bringing your dog. Manager Kyle will personally crush your joy if Fido dares to sit on your lap. Clear Sky Cafe is where cleanliness goes to die. Menus sticky with mystery sludge, bathrooms dirtier than a gas station floor, and tuna that can't decide if it's fresh or fermenting. The real kicker? Getting scolded for wearing a bikini after waiting 45 minutes for a table. Pro tip: if a restaurant's hostess shrugs at you like you've asked for a unicorn, walk away. Now, the resorts. Sheffard's Beach Resort markets itself as family-friendly until 9 p.m. when it morphs into a nightclub where security treats guests like trespassers. Imagine being just to tuck your kids into bed. Or worse, watching your daughter's wedding ruined because a power-tripping guard bans the bride over someone else's fake ID. Rooms, tiny beds, cold showers, and baths so loud your teeth vibrate. The only thing luxe here is the audacity. And Jimmy's Crow's Nest, the rooftop views are stunning until you realize the food tastes like it was cooked in a toaster oven from 1992. Burgers, rubbery, pork, drenched in liquid smoke. Service: a bartender smoking in the supply closet while yelling at customers. New Year's Eve, $30 cover charge for fireworks you can't even see. Final thoughts: if you're staying at Hilton Clearwater Beach Resort Spa, lower your expectations, then lower them again. The area thrives on mediocrity, where businesses treat customers like walking ATMs and quality control is a myth. Want a good meal? Drive. A peaceful spa? Try another state. The only mystery here is how these places stay open. Hack snacks: bring patience and maybe a lawyer, just in case. 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 case, 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 case.